Hello, how's it going? Welcome to the September Community Showcase featuring Gabby and me,
I
Damiani.
will say the Patreon post, I'm going to call you out, Damiani, the Patreon post said it was just for you. In the title.
Oh.
It said it was just for you, and then in the text it was like, and Gabby will be there.
Okay, so the title, so you understand, the title is let people know who the submissions are usually for, so I'm just going through like the allies.
Yeah.
But I also get they could write into you, so it's just like, Blood's like, this month it's you, this month it's Isla, this month it's it. So in my head,
Wait, does he make the post or do you?
No, I do. But like in my head, I'm just like, it's just like one name, and like, I don't, like, I'm just going through the motions at that point, and it does not hit. It's like, yeah, now you pointing it out, it's like, oh yeah, I probably should put that in there too.
Because I was like, I feel like I didn't see the post, so I went on Patreon. It was there, but I went on Patreon and I was like, wait a second.
Well, people definitely addressed it to Damiani and Gabby in the submission, so they do read.
Okay.
So it's also like, you know, a good test.
I'm
to
not
make
the
sure.
host. I'm not chauffeuring the this episode.
I don't know.
No. You're I don't know. It's kind of.
I was always taught like you never make anyone feel like a chauffeur. It's like one of the worst things you can do to a person. I don't know if you ever had to deal with this, but growing up, in a car, if there was a passenger seat and you didn't sit in the passenger seat and there was an adult,
what if you're a child,
like you're an adult or something.
Oh, yeah,
so like
okay.
I'm so like teenage years, not my teenage years.
I never was in a car until I was I was when I was a kid, and then we like didn't really have a car until I was able to drive.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm talking about like high school years and on like onward, like college. If I didn't sit in the front seat with my like mom or like especially my mom when we were driving,
yeah. Well, why would you want to sit?
She'd be like, "I'm not your chauffeur. Get in the front." Yeah.
Like
she's like, "That's disrespectful. Like, get in the front."
I was never in a situation like that, only because, like, we would drive a car every year to go visit our family or whatever.
Okay.
Massachusetts and Maine, but. It was either both my parents were there,
so
they
they
were sitting
already
in
there?
the front, or it was just me and my mom, so I wanted to sit in the front.
Gotcha.
My dad doesn't drive really.
We had like always some kind of like either suburban minivan, whatever type thing for like, cause yeah. So it was, and I did a lot of times it was both my mom and dad in the front, but like when it wasn't, yeah, especially my mom, like when like on a weekend or something, she would like go out for a bit and she wanted us to come help her. It'd just be like, yeah, if you don't sit in the front. Yeah, you forgot to sit in the front. It was just like that call out. It's like, I'm not your damn chauffeur.
I remember the first time my mom was like, I think you're old enough to sit in the front seat. And I was like, yes! And now I like to sit in the front seat.
I definitely remember at least one or two times being too young or one of my brothers being too young, like being said, don't sit in the front seat. Like they're like, you can't sit up there. Like get in the back. Yeah. You remember that. But fun stuff. Community showcase time though. Whoa. Yeah, I scroll back up. We had less submissions this month.
Really?
Than usual. So.
Okay, that's insulting, chat.
Yeah.
I'm hurt.
It's okay. No, you can put most of the blame on me.
Why?
It's usually like I think when usually my turn to come around, we just get like
because I'm on here so much.
Because I'm on here so much. It's like tell me like, every month. Like what? Like we can take this month off.
But there's two of us, so there should be double the amount.
Also, it's my fault I didn't put your name in the title, so that's probably it.
That's it.
It's absolutely
that's all I want. I just want to blame other people.
There you go. So you just gotta blame me. $10 and up patrons.
Contributor tier. That's
correct. You get to submit, you can write into us. You can send us artwork. You can send us audio. You can send us videos. Pretty much almost anything your heart desires. We will show it off monthly. And this month we're starting off with our write-in submissions. And kicking it off is Brandon K. Gann.
Should I start?
Do you want to start this time?
Yes.
Sure, go ahead.
My gaming time in August was dominated by Octopath Traveler 2. In the last showcase, I reported I was roughly 46 hours in and working through everyone's second chapter. With it now fully completed, I put in 143 total.
Your move, Baldur's
Whoa! Yeah, exactly. Take notes, Larian. Overall, it's a very solid RPG, and I go back and forth between deciding which of the two Octopaths are better. I love that feeling! As of today, I lean towards the sequel because it has a decently sized final chapter, which shows the party truly interacting with one another, and there being a common narrative. While I prefer the first game's party members and soundtrack, the sequel doesn't have the boss gauntlet design I railed against in the past. As far as each character's arc, much like the first Octopath, it's a mixed bag. Some characters' stories are excellent from beginning to end, some take a little time to get good, and there are a couple that were a miss for me. And of course, HD 2D is one of the most captivating art styles and always a pleasure to look at. I agree with that. The only other notable gaming-related thing I'll comment on is ONL. But honestly, it wasn't really memorable or remarkable, I agree. Completely serviceable in every sense of the word. I'm bummed, and there wasn't a single thing during the stream that caught my attention. To be clear, I'm not saying it was bad or not worth watching at all. Just for me, I'm kind of sad things like the Mortal Kombat 1 and Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty segments didn't increase my anticipation, and major moments like Little Nightmares 3 and Alan Wake felt like they were not as big as I was expecting. As far as what to play next, I'm currently working through Quake 2 Remastered, and since this is the first time I've ever played Quake 2, I think it's awesome. Already finished the base campaign and one of the add-ons with 3 more to go. Retro id games like Quake, Doom, and Wolfenstein 3D always hold up, and it makes me wish for the same remastered treatment for games like Heretic and Hexen. Once I'm done, next up are my New Game Plus runs of both Spider-Man and Miles Morales. Really fun plats to do. Franny K again. Well, the first game was just fine for me, and Miles Morales had more and more technical problems as time went on. Yes, I had the same issue. To the point I had to watch the last 20 minutes of Miles Morales on YouTube, because my playthrough had a really bizarre lighting. And objects didn't call out, completely undercutting the ending. I'm still committed to supporting Insomniac, so I'm getting Spider-Man 2, though as someone not into superhero stuff for the most part, I'm concerned I'm going to be more down on it than everyone else when it comes out. To close, I hope those replays are done by the end of September, and that's when Phantom Liberty comes out, and I'm curious how much Cyberpunk has changed since my first playthrough from last year.
Yeah. The Cyberpunk one, because it's the 2.0 update, it'll be interesting to see how people feel about it, because it's not just the Phantom Liberty.
I'm also not a superhero person, but I love Spider-Man, but that's maybe just because I was like, I loved the original Spider-Man, like Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, and I'm a New Yorker, so everyone loves Spider-Man there. Though if Spider-Man was real, I'm going to maintain this, if Spider-Man was real, New Yorkers would hate him.
Oh. I don't know why, I was looking up, you know, you go down, like, sometimes you go down, like, Wikipedia or, like, info, rabbit holes?
Yeah.
I don't know how I got started on it. I went down, like, pros and cons of cities in the U.S. for, like, living there rabbit hole.
Okay.
Like, different sites that do, like, specialize in that.
Okay.
And I feel like we should do that as, like, a stream where we, like, let chat and everyone, and, like, we go, like, who lived there? Who is here? Do you agree with these? No. Like, here are the pros. It's just, like, everyone is, like, traffic.
Weather?
Every single major city is, like, con traffic. It's like
okay, but like if you live in New York, you're not.
They're like
you're
public.
Not involved.
They're like public, like public transportation. But if you have a car, it sucks. It's like you're.
Why would you have a car in New York?
Well, they like say like some people might not know better, and like we'll try and bring a car.
But then don't come. We don't want you there.
Every place in the U.S. has natural disaster as a con. I tried finding a damn city that doesn't have natural disaster, and it's like. Hurricanes, tornadoes, earthquakes, wildfires, flooding. I was like, there is no place. There is not one place. I was like,
there's not a lot of natural disasters in New York.
They're like the hurricane or like can still like it's.
Well, we get like tropical storms, so they're never that.
They're
bad.
like very rarely, but it's still something to be aware of. I was like, oh my god.
I guess. We have
like
snow days
Seattle, they're like, well, rain, and like, also you technically can have an earthquake here. And I was like,
earthquake can technically destroy your entire city.
It's like, all right. Alaska was like, the winter and stuff. It's like if you can't deal with the cold.
Yeah. For New York this summer, the energy of New York in the summer is awesome. The temperature is the worst thing on earth. Because having to go into the subway in New York, it's like when you're baking and you open the oven to get something out. That's literally what it feels like. It feels like you're walking into an oven.
Oh, no.
And then if you ever see an empty train car,
Don't get in it?
Don't get in it.
Okay.
Because the air conditioning is probably broken, or there's someone unwell in there, and you don't want to be near them.
Okay. Good advice.
Yeah,
Very
that's
good
my
advice.
That's my
All right,
advice.
Gabby, professional advice on the trains. Take it seriously. Our next submission comes from Joe Caruso. As someone that played a lot... All right, we're going to get this... I'm going to get this right. So, I got made fun of for my pronunciation of this. So, is it... I think I was saying Balder, but it's Baldur's Gate.
Balder, yeah.
Balder, like Balder.
Like more bald than another person. Yeah, Balder.
Okay, yes. Baldur's Gate over 20 years ago.
Or like the character, or like the mythical figure.
Yeah,
Balder.
yeah. Okay. I heard it said in Dungeons and Dragons, honor amongst thieves. Thieves on
yeah.
Like thieves. I didn't realize that movie didn't make a lot of money, though.
Uncharted?
D&D.
Oh, I know, so depressing.
I thought it was like a huge success, and I was like reading like, oh, it failed to like break even. I was like, what?
So depressing because it's such a good movie.
I was like, oh, okay, that kind of stinks.
I was literally crying, laughing, watching it. It's so good.
Yeah, it was really good.
It feels like playing D&D with your friends. It's so much fun.
I was like, D&D might seem interesting because I watched this movie. Kind of like when I watched One Piece live action. I'm like, oh, maybe I will watch the anime One Piece.
Do you want to play D&D with us?
Now I don't know if I want to play. I want to like see more, so it's like more passive.
Critical
Is there another?
Role?
Well, they said there's a trilogy from the 2000s that's also D&D based. I'm like, wait, what? like Baldur's Gate has, or sorry, the Honor Amongst Thieves has, excuse me, peanut joke, has no relation to the trilogy that came in the 2000s. Like, what trilogy? I was like, there's a D&D. It was like a made-for-TV or home made-for-DVD trilogy.
Okay, that's probably not very good. I recommend if you want to watch like real D&D in episodic format.
Oh, you're talking about?
No, not Critical Role. Is that what you're
show.
about to say? Yeah.
Yeah.
I would watch Dimension 20.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Dimension 20.
I adore Critical Role. I was in the first 2 full seasons of Critical Role. That's hundreds of hours. But it is the first 25 episodes of both seasons of Critical Role are so boring, and they're eventually worth it.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay. Oh, Dimension 20. What's it on? Do you know, or
it's on the censored version. I believe is on just on YouTube for free.
Okay.
And then you can pay for it, I guess. If you really love it, you can pay for it on Dropout.
I've heard of Journey Quest.
Never heard of that.
Okay.
Or Tabletop Escapades.
Or Tabletop Escapades, yes.
Yeah.
Alright, sorry Joe. As someone that played a lot of Baldur's Gate over 20 years ago, I'm blown away by how much I feel like I did all those years ago playing Baldur's Gate 3. That said, while it retains many of the positives and negatives of the series, it's overall so much better with numerous quality of life improvements. While it's very time consuming and a little frustrating, this is the kind of game where you truly want to explore every single nook and cranny, because there's a decent chance that some meaningful loot will be hidden in a random basket or spiderweb cocoon.
Yeah. I pick up everything in Baldur's Gate. It's bad. I'm constantly encumbered.
While the game does so much to help explain everything with expandable descriptions and visual highlights, it does take a long time to get used to. But once you understand the systems, it is extremely satisfying to succeed in combat. Pretty much every battle is not trivial, and while the raw numbers will absolutely make a difference, strategy is way more important. I remember being level 2 and taking down a level 5 enemy by the skin of my teeth. And I remember being level 4 and taking on a huge group of mostly level 1 enemies, but I restarted the fight when I realized I was in a bad position and needed to get on high ground to survive the swarm of enemies, only to discover that they could basically teleport up to my position, forcing me to consider every action I made. I can't believe I'm about to say this, as it's kind of a meme to make this comparison, but Baldur's Gate 3 reminds me a lot of my experience with Bloodborne. Bloodborne was my first experience with a FromSoft game, and even knowing what I was getting into, initially, I found it to be very difficult and frustrating, and I didn't get the appeal. After just 2 weeks of playing more, I was absolutely obsessed and started acting like most fans of FromSoft games. 2 weeks ago, I started Baldur's Gate 3, and the first combat scenario outside of the tutorial was really hard and kind of confusing. Now, I've already sunk 40 hours into the game, and I feel like a master. And I'm still only on Act 1. I keep hearing that. How many hours? Still on Act 1.
Yeah, I'm still on Act 1, and I'm almost 35 hours in?
Mm-hmm.
No. I'm over 50 hours in. Never mind. A lot of that is the screen is paused and I'm on my phone.
AFK time. There you go.
Yep.
So even with all the quality of life improvements, it's still one of those games that feels like it takes forever to play and demands you to move at a slow pace. But it's also a game that you don't mind the time sink because you want to take your time and not leave any stone unturned. Between this game and Tears of the Kingdom, it just feels so good to play video games that you're truly happy to be addicted to. Nice.
Baldur's Gate, sometimes, like real D&D, sometimes you move 20 feet in 5 hours, and sometimes you, like, move, you know, all over the place, you're doing all kinds of stuff. I'm loving it. Do I think it's perfect? No. It more just wants me to play, it makes me want to play D&D in real life.
Oh, okay.
Because, like, I keep wanting to do things that the game just simply can't let me do.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's still an incredible game. I'm loving it. Can't wait to play more. That's all I think about. Yeah.
Our next submission comes from RF Switch.
Greetings, Gabby and Damiani. I was going to make an image post about building my new computer. Yeah, that's not going to happen. I never want to build a PC again for the rest of my life, so instead I'm going to talk about my profession a bit, writing. I started writing stories about 24 years ago when I was still in middle school. Were they good? Hell no. Did I learn from writing them? Absolutely. As I kept writing, I kept having better ideas. Still bad, but hey, I took some of those things and put them into Themis the Cat Girl. So who's to say those ideas were terrible? Of course, I also wrote fan fiction, cringy as hell. I take a flamethrower to all of it if I could, but it did help me sharpen my skills even more. See, I have no problem with fan art or fan fiction. It's still a creative outlet. It can help you practice and refine your abilities, and it shows your passion for the things you love. Hell, without fan fiction and all those terrible ideas I had when I was younger, I wouldn't have started writing my series at all. I'm not a big fan fiction enjoyer, but I will go to the mat for fan fiction any day of the week. I think it's important. If I were to go back to school to get a master's degree, I would probably study, like, fandom and fan culture, and, like, the psychology of that. Fan fiction is important. It's also as old as time. It's as old as writing. So, that's what I have to say. How did I start writing Themis, you might ask? Well, I have a cat named Themis. I've shown you her before. She's my favorite extra-long pumpkin spice mocha latte. I've loved her to bits since she came into my life at 6 weeks old, even though she pooped on my floor within the first 2 days she lived in my home. But it was when she started climbing up my bathroom door frame, climbing down the old rotting tree in my backyard, and climbing on the ceiling to attack a spider, I started thinking of her as a character. After that, I started thinking of other characters, heroes, antagonists, side characters, and suddenly I had an entire world to contend with. And soon with a book written, rewritten again, chapter outlines for an entire series hammered out until it looked great, and several short stories, Themis the Cat Girl is looking pretty good. Of course, I had that bad breakup a couple years ago, and now I've fallen back into fan fiction to help me emotionally recover, so I can continue writing my weird series about a cat girl fighting bullies in a superhero universe. But hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, and this fanfic is much better than the ones I made a decade ago. Sometimes life suplexes a train onto you, and you just have to roll with it. Anyway, love and respect, our Switch. P.S. In Tarot Major Arcana 4 is the Emperor. It represents a wealthy older man, stable, powerful, and a grounded protector. The only person who could represent that is a legendary former sponsor of the Easy Allies podcast, and one of the biggest contributors to the Patreon, and an overall great guy. That's right, it's Ultz O'Connell, who you may all know as Mango. Oh, how nice.
Our next submission comes from Bruno Saurus. Hello, Damiani and Gabby. I hope you all are enjoying your time with September thus far, and that the easy chillin' extravaganza being over has let you all rest a bit.
A bit.
Now it's September. I can have I allow myself to get pumpkin spice. So this Saturday, I'm finally gonna get something pumpkin spice. No in August. That's too soon.
Yeah.
That's disrespectful.
Oh.
Well, for you, Damiani, after being done with Starfield's review, yes, Dawn is editing that. I just have to get a few pickups.
Ooh, whoa! We got a rate on the community showcase.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Trisha. Thank you so much.
Oh my god. Well, this is the community showcase, everyone. Our $10 and up patrons on Patreon can submit paragraphs, text, photos, video, audio, and they show us what they're up to. So we're in the middle of that right now.
Yeah.
Hi, Raiders.
You can write it to us about all your favorite types of pumpkin spice stuff. And whether or not you believe you can enjoy it in August, if that's too soon, or you should wait till at least September. Because I'm clearly on the side of it's a cardinal sin to enjoy pumpkin spice in August.
Oh, okay. It's the 8th deadly sin.
Yeah, it's very extreme. Was on Kiss FM, the radio. They have a new.
Do you also listen to the radio?
Every now and then, like because I can listen to so much because of my drive time. I inevitably go through a lot of stuff. And I'm like, okay, I need to switch to something else because like I've been listening to this for like a week. Let's move to something else. And so just hearing people talk on the radio, like I do listen to like NPR sometimes, but like it gets a very repetitive at a point, and I'm like, all right, let's next. Like I can only hear them talk about the same thing.
Just
like,
listen to a podcast. Listen to a podcast.
I used to do that, and then I got like burnt out on podcasts.
Or listen to an audiobook.
It's a bad idea for me. Because I'll get too distracted. Because I'll zone out, and like that's not a good thing to do when driving. Also, it's hard to focus sometimes, like even in traffic.
Out on podcasts, they're new every week.
Well, I mean, sometimes the formula is just we got a double rate. Double rate. Double rate. What's up? That's awesome. Double raid, thank you so much. But sorry, Bruno. Yes.
Sorry.
Starfield review is almost done. Like the production part of it. So, few pickups. I got one for Dawn. I just got a few more to get pickups, and I think we'll be good to go. Easy Chillin' was a great time and well worth all the hours you all put into making it happen.
Thanks, Bruno.
Yeah, thank you. Glad to be part of such an awesome community. This past month, I have been focusing on some job searching as usual and debating on going back to get a more official degree compared to a full stack certification. While learning what I can on my own time, I shall update you all as the days go on. I am sure you care deeply. I have started to do some substitute teaching assisting when the opportunities arise and when people don't claim those so fast. Vultures out there. That's the thing. I keep seeing like, oh, there's like more jobs, but like anecdotally, it's like there are no jobs. Like it was like people have been applying for months and over a year, and no things. It's like, oh, okay.
Especially my friends in the entertainment industry are like,
probably right now.
What are we gonna do?
Yep.
Probably February. That strike is over.
Yeah, hopefully.
Look forward to it.
For the monthly update of the cataclysmic wave of content that is my backlog, it's at 664 right now. A 2-game difference from last time. I beat 8 games from it in August, but added 9 games. Now you would think the backlog would be higher if more games were added. Well, I took out any DLC or expansions I had and just made a column if I wanted to play the DLC or not, essentially. Besides Geist and 2 Yoshi games, nothing too crazy was added to it. You added Geist, the GameCube game? Holy crap. Alright. Backlog goals update since last month. I beat Kingdom Hearts 2 for the 3rd or 4th time now. Okay, 3rd or 4th time.
So that's not a backlog.
Yeah, 3rd or 4th time. And he got 664 games. Just pointing that out. Grand time as always, and I actually did all of Atlantica. That was definitely something. I replaced Fire Emblem Awakening with Persona 5 Striker. Okay, it's making me a little sad reading that. Since I want to finish that, actually, I've been in a stalemate with it the last few months. I'm at 25 hours. I believe I also haven't thought much about Awakening this year so far, sadly. But next year it will return. Okay. Spooky backlog is progressing, making my way through Silent Hill. Still quite early, but I did finish Tormented Souls. The Switch is free from Kirby 64 and Pokemon Stadium 2, so I'm having the itch for Majora's Mask now, which would be game number 11 for the backlog goals. I do want to show off how I keep track of my backlog one day, but I have to plan out what I'm actually saying in that regard when going through it and such. Figuring out all that video making stuff too, as I'm a rookie and all that stuff. Damiani, great job on finishing the behemoth that is the Starfield for review. Gabby, great job on being a grand addition thus far to Easy Allies.
Thank you.
Remember this next part is just they're saying, Hail Hydra, go Jets. I'll predict they go 10-7 and make the playoffs, but will not make the Super Bowl and make me feel hopeless again. And love and respect to you all in chat.
Every time I ask my dad how the Jets are doing, he interrupts me before I finish my sentence and he goes, bad. that and the Knicks, he's always like, bad. I have found that I can't have a backlog. I just have to be like,
oh yeah,
whatever I'm feeling after this game's over, that's what I'm going to play next, you know? I can't think about it too much because if I had 664 games, like a solid list of 600 games, I would never play a single game because I'd be too overwhelmed.
Yeah. My backlog is end of year. Anyone who seriously says you need to play this game for like GOTY consideration, and that's it. Otherwise, it's like nah, I'm good. Like, learn to like let go of that like many years ago. It's like there's just too many games, and now it's even worse. So it's just like it's okay. Like stop stressing about it. It's cool. I will say I did read on was it ESPN, they did a simulation for the season, but like they couldn't stop talking about like the headline was like Cowboys have an abysmal year, which I was laughing at. They like predict they're gonna go like 4 and like something or whatever, only get like 4 wins, and by like week 6 they're gonna be like 1-5, and I was laughing so hard if that came true. Like the Jets weren't that bad. I think the Jets did a little bit better than that, but they said this is for Dawn. They said the Eagles will meet the Ravens in the Super Bowl, and Mahomes will fall. So that's good news for Dawn.
All-bird Super Bowl.
They said an all-bird Super Bowl. So there you go. It looks like the Eagles will probably take it in their simulation, so that was good news for Dawn. All right, next up is Tirju Engi.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Gabby and Damiani. Huge update came to Genshin Impact with 4.0 that introduced diving within a new region, and I went through the majority of it within a week. Lots of good exploring and lore/story stuff happening that I just couldn't stop playing, and now it's back to the dailies. Also finished Ni no Kuni Wrath of the White Witch.
Oh, nice.
While the story was really good and exceeded my expectations, the grinding is holding it back a lot.
Yes.
Not to mention it expects you to do that every time you get to a new area. Were you saying Ni no Kuni 2 was the easiest game of all time?
I was throwing at Huber's face because he points out that like it was too easy and like that was the biggest flaw of the game. And then, but he's also like a thing like if you don't put difficulties right away, he gets really annoyed. He doesn't like that.
Yeah.
They in one of the first updates they added two harder difficulties. The hardest one is like just wrecks you, and I was like, all right, well they took care of that. And like the hard should have been like the normal. I'll concede. I was like, all right, hard is where people who like have any familiarity should be like jumping in on that. And I tried like very hard for a bit. And I was like, all right, this is a good thing. Like that felt fair. Like the hardest difficulty was just impossible. It's like, oh my, like bosses just became sponges. You had to like survive for so long. I was like, that's not fun anymore. But like, I mean, this is what people ask for. It's like, I want 30-minute boss fights. I'm like, okay, fine. That's what you want. But I do think the combat of 2 is better. And I like the kingdom management system, and like they had like these like real like these army style battles. I forget what they were called, but like the storytelling and like the characters and like the world building was much better in 1. So I wish they would just have a chance to make a third one that took the best of both. Instead, we got that gotcha NFT freaking mobile game or whatever that was MMO that was terrible.
Speaking of Studio Ghibli. Are you excited for the new Miyazaki movie?
Yes, I am. I forgot what they're calling it in English again. The Boy and the Heron. Yeah, there we go. Did they give it a final release date here? I know it's
No,
like this
they
year.
said like this year.
Yeah, later this year. I know it did well in Japan without hitting real marketing.
Of course it is. It's like Beyonce dropping her album without any warning. Like, it's gonna do well. It's a Miyazaki movie, you know?
I bet we wait 10 years after Ni no Kuni 2 and we'll get Ni no Kuni 3. That's what will happen.
Yeah.
I also say, I know they mentioned Genshin Impact. I was telling Gabby before we started, I downloaded and played through the entirety of the tutorial of Honkai Star Rail. I got to where I could add my friends, so my friends I could accept their invites finally. So I tried it out. I don't know if I'll keep playing it, but you know, it felt like playing a sort of like a Tales-esque style game, but like the combat was obviously turn-based. So, ZZZ, what is it? Zen.
Yeah, I know.
That one is the one I'm most looking forward to, and actually we'll try that at the beginning this time around. But
is that one Korean or Japanese?
It's also Zenless Zone Zero. I mean, it's MiHoYo's handling it in mainland China, so...
Oh, it's Chinese.
Pretty sure it is, right, chat?
My bad.
It's them again, because it's it's my account's tied to that when I signed up for the beta notification. I'm pretty sure it's them. I mean, it's a different developer, but they're the ones publishing it.
Okay.
So I don't know if the developer is also Chinese, but...
What's the game that looks like Spider-Man?
Oh! That is... Not that. It's something else. Oh, we saw it in Gamescom.
Yeah.
I already forgot what it's called. What's it called, chat?
It's like literally Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's the one. I want to try that one out too. I tried signing up for that one, and that one wasn't even open up yet. Alright, sorry about that. I think we are at... Also had a few...
Oh, I'm reading. I forgot.
Yeah.
Also had a few weird points that Revenant Kingdom suffered with having voice acting in some places, but not in other ones.
Yes.
Overall, I like the story way more than the sequel, but gameplay... Project Mugen. That's it. Overall, I like the story way more than the sequel, but gameplay lacked what was later improved.
Mm-hmm.
Binged a few animes first seasons, and not many of them really stood out. Also watched that live-action One Piece.
Oh,
First half was okay, but first half was okay. Episodes 5, 6 had a lot of changes, but I enjoyed them too.
Okay.
And then saw the last 2 episodes, and it simply pissed me off. Oh no!
Oh.
You can say it's nostalgia, but the payoff didn't feel earned with the changes they did to the backstories before it. This is probably one of my favorite short arcs of the series, and it felt it was handled a bit poorly. And honestly, the writing on Luffy was lots of misses. His personality just felt off. Also, watched the Turtles movie, which was okay. With the only familiarity with the OG TV series and the 2007 CGI movie, I just had... What did you just do?
I did a correction.
Oh, I just had a hard time connecting with this one with all the references and characters I wasn't familiar with. Okay. They did nail how teenagers act their age. Okay. Cool. I'm loving the Try and 5 playthrough that has currently been going. Whether it's solving puzzles in creative ways or being sabotaged, it's all fun to see. That's all for now. Love and respect to your Juig.
As someone who hasn't watched or read the One Piece manga or anime,
Damn.
I really love the live action show.
I'm hearing a lot of good stuff.
I thought that cast was really, like, their chemistry was amazing. And it is essentially what Cobra Kai was for live action. It's like they basically capture that essence again for this.
That's
which is
so
like
fun.
Which I think is like that's how you do live action anime. Like there are certain things you can do, and it's the vibes. They got the vibes right. I concede I have no idea how authentic or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't have that perspective, so changes and accuracies or whatever aren't like getting in my way of enjoying it. So for people who are into it, maybe you're seeing it like, oh, it was done like in your opinion better or what, more in depth, whatever. I don't have that perspective. So yeah, but I will say I really liked it, and yeah, that's how I felt about like the first season of The Witcher, like on Netflix. I liked it a lot, but then like I didn't like season 2 as much. I didn't even give season 3 because they were like, we're bailing on the main actor.
Weird,
I'm like,
really weird.
yeah, never mind. People no long knows for Usopp is jarring.
Which one's Usopp?
He's the one who tells the tall tales, and
I know nothing.
Okay, so
I know vaguely what people. I'm gonna Google it. I'm Googling it.
Yeah, he wears like a bandana hat, like a bandana, and
but that other character has a long nose, right? Has like a shark.
Oh yeah, that's Arlong.
Yeah.
Arlong, but he's like a fish person, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Usopp's just a normal
man.
Yeah, normal guy.
Man.
Yeah. They pick him. I think he's the last crew member. No, Sanji's the last crew member to join them. Yeah.
What about the little?
Well, they haven't gotten there yet.
Rat.
Chopper, or whatever his name is.
What is he?
I don't know what it is. All I know is like that's next.
Okay.
I've seen that for him. I did watch one season of the anime,
Okay.
and I do remember like they felt like they got to him at the end, and I was like, oh, they didn't. He's not in the show yet, and they're like, someone's like, oh, since you know about it, that'll be like the beginning of next season. I'm like, oh, okay.
How are they gonna do that?
I don't know. That's what some people are pointing out was like, while this season's really good,
yeah,
there's concerns about how this costs $140 million budget. They're like, the shit from here on out gets even crazier to capture it, like, even remotely.
Yeah.
Like, authentically, it needs more budget. And they're like, Netflix isn't going to give it more budget.
I mean, if it does really well, yeah, they will. Because here's the thing. Right now, Netflix doesn't have to pay anyone any money because of the strike. So what they can do is outsource to non-Americans who are part of the... they're doing it with Korean television and Japanese television. So they're going to do that. So look forward to One Piece Season 2.
Yeah, I really liked it. I liked the villains. I liked the backstories. I thought they were all really good.
Yeah.
Like like Sanji's backstory was like what the hell, insane to me. I mean, I like the payoff with Usopp, and like each character basically gets like their own episode. They do a really good job of having a through line for the main arc in each episode, but each episode's kind of like also has a self-contained character and monster of the week type plot that also is wrapped in there as well.
So they kind of the best of three worlds.
Yeah.
That's fun.
And that's exactly what Cobra Kai does. Like, they have through-line arcs, but they have a lot of self-contained things to resolve in each episode that you feel like you made good progress, and they have good cliffhangers. I mean, Cobra Kai does. I don't think every episode of this ends with a cliffhanger, but there's like a nice development. Yeah. Everyone's just telling me to watch anime. Yeah, I'm gonna watch 1,500 episodes. Nah.
I will watch the first season of One Piece when Brad knows all the names of the members of BTS.
ATs.
And ATs.
Alright.
Name a single member of ATs.
I can't.
Okay.
I can name. It's like I'm better at naming like groups and bands, but individual members of anything is like I'm really bad at that.
ATs is about to blow up. Everyone, get on the ATs.
Get on the ATs. There you go. Also, sorry, real quick. After watching the live action, the 4Kids One Piece opening, like actually is better now, because like I it's like I have more respect for it. I think they should bring it back. Anyway, Level Capybara writes in, hello Damiani, hello Gabby, and hello September. As autumn approaches, I am hoping you're all doing well. Today I wanted to tell you about a special encounter I had...
Sorry, Arf said she's listening to ATs because of me. You're welcome.
Shout out. Today I wanted to tell you about a special encounter I had a few months ago with two of the most magical things on the planet. Zelda music and horses. Alright? I spent a lot of time enjoying the former, but I have basically no real-life experience interacting with the latter. There is, however, a natural park/hiking spot in my area where local horses sometimes roam free.
What?
And that's where this particular encounter occurred. Here we go. I was walking one of the trails there one day, strumming a ukulele as I went. For the record, I suck at ukulele, but I can at least pluck out a few basic Zelda melodies.
That's plucking. That's difficult.
And that day, in honor of the horses that called that place their home, I decided to play Epona's song from Ocarina of Time as I walked along. And then, as I was walking the trail and playing the song, I noticed a horse coming up the trail in the opposite direction. I stopped. I figured it would be best to let the horse pass without getting in its way, so I stood still on the side of the trail, continuing to play as I waited. But as I kept playing, the horse kept getting closer and closer and closer until it came to a stop right in front of me. We were practically face to face. Now, horses are majestic animals, but they are also strong enough to kick your butt. And from what I hear, horses can be a little unpredictable, especially if you know basically nothing about them. And even though I hadn't been trying to get close to the horse, I was probably standing well within kicking range at that moment. But I figured the best way to avoid spooking it in that situation was to stay calm and keep doing what I was doing. So calmly, kind of, I finished the song. The horse stared and listened, and eventually turned and continued making its way up the trail. Since the horse did not kick my butt, I was able to continue walking as well. And thus, we each went our separate ways, forever bonded by our shared appreciation for the timeless music of Ocarina of Time. Come to think of it, the horse never clapped or asked for an encore. But again, I suck at ukulele. Love and respect, Level Capybara.
That is such a magical experience. As a recovering horse girl, I am seething with jealousy. That sounds amazing. Wild horses are... that's so cool. I've seen a lot of very cute videos of like horses and cows like loving music. Like people are playing
Aww.
you know, the violin or something by the side of the road, and like all the cows will come up and listen. Like they're just
Let me ask
cute.
this.
Yes.
Is there any K-pop / horse crossover, like a music video with K-pop members on horses?
On a horse?
No famous ones. If it's not that, if it doesn't come to mind, it's probably
I
not
don't
that
think
famous.
so. I know a member of BTS was in a K-drama that was like had some horse stuff in it. It was
Okay.
like a historical drama.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right.
I haven't seen the show, so
That's okay. All right, it is time for some artwork and images.
Yay.
Starting with none other than Sarah Knight.
Does the side dance count? Okay,
I know.
in that he does like a
Yeah.
horse thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
as does Yoongi from BTS. Okay, Sarah Knight. Hello, Damiani and Gabby. Hope you guys are doing well and had a good Labor Day weekend. As Damiani most likely remembers from last month, I'm currently working on a series of illustrations based on every game in the Final Fantasy series. That's a lot of drawings. So far in the showcase, I've shown off 1 to 4, and working on them gave me a little bit of a burnout. So I've decided to take my time with the rest of the illustrations. So for now, I'll be showing off the finished Final Fantasy V illustration and the whips for Final Fantasy VI. Wish me luck with that one. It's gonna be a doozy. Also, last Saturday, I posted the first part of Chapter 2 of my webcomic, Pantheris. Or Pantheris? Tell me how to pronounce that, Sarah.
Pantheris.
Pantheris? Or Pantheris?
Pantheris.
Okay.
I believe.
On Webtoons. So as a bonus, I thought I could share 3 panels from the episode. Hope you guys... Pantheris. Cool. So for now, I'll be showing off the finished Final Fantasy V illustration and the works in progress for Final Fantasy VI. Wish me luck with that. Oh, did I already read this? Oh, my bad. Sorry.
Right here.
Hope you guys continue to stay safe and be awesome to everyone around you. Much love and respect, Sarah Knight.
Alright, so let's get these going here. Alright. So this is the first one here. This is
Cute.
Bart's, Lena, Ferris, and Galuf. Sorry.
That's very cute.
Yeah, that's really good.
Okay. I'm gonna, it's not your fault, Sarah Knight, but I'm gonna say this. I told you guys last time I was on here, you have to tell me what program you use.
Oh, okay.
I
I was like, where? I like criticism time.
No, I'm not
It's like,
doing that. You guys have to tell me what program you're using. That's all that I ask. Yeah, sure. I remember that Sarah uses Procreate, but I still, even if I've seen it already, I'm gonna forget. So you have to say, P.S. for Gabby, I use these programs.
Mm-hmm.
If you downloaded any brushes, special brushes that you use, I'd like to know that. I just want to know everything. I want to know everyone's process.
Terra there. Got Locke.
Cute.
Heck yeah. Locke. The thief. Got Edgar. One of the princes. We got
I think what's
next.
so cool about drawing a series like
Yes!
this, Sarah, cute, is that
Treasure hunter.
you'll be able to see yourself getting so much better from your first drawing to your last drawing, you know? That'll be fun. I love seeing my own progress like that.
Celis.
Cool.
Alright, and then we got from the...
And there is.
Yep.
Cool.
So 2. For that. Like, just casual, carefree, and this person's like, we must keep a watchful eye. Ooh. Pulling over the hood, yeah. Sorry. And then making a dash for it. Look at that.
Very cool.
Nice.
Exciting
Very
that your
nice.
stuff is on Webtoon.
Yeah.
There was an enormous billboard per Webtoon in my neighborhood. I was obsessed with it because it was obviously like kind of a bad translation of a Japanese webtoon.
Okay.
There's just these two men like leaning close to each other, and one of them said, "Sorry, it's my first time being gay." And I was like, "This is insane." I would laugh every time I saw it because like, what the fuck does that mean?
What?
Sorry, it's my first time being gay. I tweeted this and no one liked it, and I was really hurt. It was I tweeted a couple's costume. The two guys from the Sorry, it's my first time being gay billboard.
I think I saw that. I didn't know the full context.
Yeah,
now that
it's
I know
a
it, I'm like,
webtoon.
I got it. AI translation. There you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, really natural human dialogue.
Sorry.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Alright. Next set of images comes from Screaming Argonaut. Good afternoon, Damiani and Gabby. I see that September has snuck up on us. Hope you get some breathing room before the October releases. August in Poppleton was pretty quiet until last weekend.
Poppleton?
We were going to find out.
Oh.
It all started one afternoon when Diana and I went to the cafe and noticed Isabel sitting alone, looking blue.
Okay.
There you go.
What a cute name for your town.
My poor Isabel. She told us that she's been feeling unmoored. You like that?
Isabel said that? Yeah.
I'd be shocked if that word showed up in a Nintendo game. Over the last year or so, things have been running so smoothly that no one needs her help anymore. Oh no, she's feeling like, I get it. Oh. After lunch, Diana and I stopped at Meringue's house and told her, Meringue's house and told her about our conversation with Isabel. Meringue suggested we throw her an appreciation party. Ooh.
Thanks for the sub, X drama. Resub.
Good house.
Oh, cute.
My job was to set up the venue, but while I was hanging up decorations, Booker stopped by and told me I needed a permit for the party. No party permit. Uh-oh. Yikes.
The pigs are after you.
Yeah. It was awkward, but I managed to get a permit from Isabel without telling her what it was for. Ooh, very clever.
I said it's merengue.
Oh, it is?
I thought it was meringue.
I thought it was meringue too, but meringue, like the name, merengue.
Merengue is the dance.
Okay. Merengue.
I thought it was meringue as well because she's a little dessert, you know?
Gotcha.
Meringue.
We were celebrating our good... rest of the planning went on... Sorry. Okay. The rest of the planning went on without a hitch. Isabel seemed genuinely surprised and touched when she arrived. There we go.
Aww.
We were celebrating our good job. Isabel came to our table and asked Merengue if she had any trouble with the caterer she recommended. Oh, nice. We compared planning notes. Diana said that she had asked Isabel for a list of all the island residents so she could send invitations. All of us had asked Isabel for help. Oh, look at that.
Isabel.
Isabel. Isabel.
Isabel.
Isabel. Isabel. The party ended with the last fireworks of the summer. We apologized to Isabel for making her work at her own party, but she said we made her feel more useful than she had in over a year and thanked us. There you go.
Aww.
Well,
that little fox. It's cute.
yeah. That was August in Poppleton. Who could possibly guess what September will bring? Until then, love and respect, Screaming Argonaut. Very nice.
Very nice. This makes me yearn for the days of Animal Crossing, you know?
The turnip.
That's right.
Turnips.
I'm not the actual days because it was the beginning of COVID, but you know, the zeitgeist. Everyone, like people, like Elijah Wood just randomly visiting people's islands and stuff like that. Like, that was so fun. That was so cute.
Maybe we'll get another one with Switch 2.
And another pandemic.
No, that's not. That's okay. I can do with that.
I can't go back. I don't know what my island looks like. I haven't been there in years. Everyone's probably dead. That ugly villager moved to my island.
People making you bring, like, coupons, like, tickets or whatever in exchange for coming to their island to get their good turnip prices. Like, people getting mad at you. I was like, what is it? It's a game. Chill out.
Me chasing that little cow around the island trying to figure out where she was. Stay in one damn place.
Oh, my gosh. Of course.
Diana's a deer. Ah, okay. She's cute.
Oh, right. Our next set of images comes from Mo Grant.
Hey, Damiani and Gabby. I'm back with an exciting announcement. We are getting ready to launch our second Kickstarter campaign. This time, the campaign will be to fund the publishing for the second issue of Astronaut High Schooler. I believe Gabby was on the showcase when we first revealed the cover for issue 2, back in March. And now we're back with some work-in-progress images for 3 pages from the new issue. I think I remember this. While JR still handled all of the initial inks as well as the final color renders, me and the rest of the Lucky 33 crew... Oh. By the way, Gabby used Photoshop.
There you go.
Oh, Mo, I didn't realize it was the same.
Yeah.
It was the first color.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm making connections. I'm making
There you
connections. I'm
go.
realizing things. It's the year of
World
realizing
building.
things. World building. Environmental storytelling. The rest of the Lucky 33 crew also assisted in the art process by helping out with the color, flats, making this the first book where we all worked on the art together. That's so fun. When Earth City is attacked, there's only one high schooler hero who can save the day. And they aren't just a normal high schooler, they're an astronaut high schooler. With unimaginable strength, a crazy powerful baseball ball, and a bit of an ego, astronaut high schooler must face off against all sorts of foes, space pirates, giant monsters, and even evil robots from the future. Big emphasis on the giant baseball bat. That's what I thought.
Gotcha.
Big emphasis on the giant monsters part. As the threat, this issue is the terrifying Mothzilla. It'll take more than a few swings of their trusty bat to take this foe down. Very cool. Oh, very cool.
Alright.
I like the use of I like the black stripe.
Yeah. And here's the color flat.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then you get the details. So that process is so cool.
That's very cool. That is very cool. Oh, I see. So it used to be just a black line and they kind of turned it into this gradient. That's very cool. Wow. After getting hit with a zap from Mothzilla, High Schooler decides to use a moth's #1 weakness, light bulbs. Luckily for them, Earth City is home to the world's largest light bulb. That's adorable. Cool.
Power.
Power.
Oh yeah, that's so cool.
It's very cool.
And let's see what the. Oh yeah, that's nice. How comes like a soft light
so
because it's daylight out. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
nice. And they said, look at the last ones too.
Oh,
Oh, this one I can't wait to see what this one's gonna look like.
the speed lines are so cool. Cool. Oh my god.
That's so good. And here we go. Oh man, yes. Oh yeah, look at that.
That's very cool.
That's so good.
Oh. It looks like the light got Mothzilla's attention, but will it be enough to defeat the monster? Find out when issue number 2 comes out. The pre-launch page for the campaign is already up on Kickstarter, so just search for Astronaut High Schooler and hit that Notify on Launch button to make sure you don't miss when the campaign goes live. As always, you can find more of our work at Lucky33 Comics on Instagram, as well as more of JR's art at JR Comic Art. At JR Comic Arts on Instagram. Want to make sure I say that clearly. Thanks again for everything. Love and respect, Mo Grant and the Lucky 33 crew. Yeah, feel free to drop the link here and on Discord if you like.
Great update.
That's
as
so
always. Cool. Next set of images comes from the Soul Crusher. Greetings, allies. In honor of your upcoming trip to Super Nintendo World, I wanted to share a project of mine from a few years ago. Okay, here we go. Oh.
Wow.
Used probably around 200 pieces of furniture, including around 75 that had to have the custom brick wall decals added. Since you can only order 5 items a day, and I did not time travel at all, this took a very long time. It was extremely painful terraforming the land and getting everything in the correct spot. Look at that. That is really good. The floating blocks too. Oh man. Heck yeah. A short walk up the steps reveals the princess, guarded by Bowser himself. That's
wow.
The Power Star back.
Yeah.
That's so good. Oh yes.
I think the princess is just an empty dress.
Defeat him to take the castle. Oh, that's so good. Oh. Luckily, he hides the secret. Behind him lies the dreaded axe and a warp pipe. Ooh, the axe. And there's a warp pipe behind him. All right. What does that lead to?
Oh, I forgot they added warp pipes to the...
Leading to the flagpole. Oh, so nice. All those power-ups. Again, we got a cannon back here. Man, that's sick. Of course, almost immediately after finishing construction, a new update was added, and a ton of new items, including actual castle walls, were included. So, yeah, do all that work, and then they do that. Yeah.
Of course. Of course.
There you go.
Wow.
Thus began a massive and expensive remodel effort. Oh, wow. Yeah, the ramparts now. Sadly, a lack of funding, or more accurately, time, has put the remodel on hold, perhaps indefinitely. Anyway, I hope everyone has a great time at Universal Studios. Love and respect, the Soul Crusher. Oh, no.
Wow. I mean, it looks amazing.
Yeah.
That looks like my high school, Loki.
That is like... yeah, that's insane. So
Screaming Arnold says, just a heads up, we can hear people talking down the hall. Should I close the door?
Yeah.
It's just Brad.
Sorry about that, chat. It just shuts slowly. Slow close. All right, we will need our headphones now.
Okay.
As we move into our audio and video segment. First up, we have our audio submission from Kevin Gillet.
Oh, hold on, I'm going to answer about my high school. Google
Sure,
Hunter College High School. You'll see why. It looks like a castle. It seems to be an armory.
All right. First, audio submission from Kevin Gillet.
Cool. Hello, Gabby. Sorry.
No worries.
Hello, Gabby and Damiani. Congratulations on a very entertaining Easy Chillin', and for your amazing display of collective Jenga mastering, Simran. We're getting better. We're getting really good.
Yeah.
This month, my submission expresses the waning summer vibes. Though personally, I'm glad it's over, as I'm not too fond of record high temperatures, and it means the best season of the year is just around the corner. How much I love having Game Boy games on the Switch by revisiting the seashore theme from Super Mario Land 2 in a more modern 2D Mario style, complete with an underwater variation for the second loop. Enjoy and let us brace for the cataclysmic wave of content. Love and respect, Kevin Gillet. I feel like we should have cataclysmic wave of content merch. That's great. My dad says Calypso, very Trini. Love that. I did.
That was really good, Kevin.
That was awesome.
The underwater part was so good.
That is so good.
Thank you, as always. All right, we got a few video submissions before we wrap it up. First, from Alexander Ziranov. Hello, allies. I'm continuing highlighting Apex Legends characters, and today we'll talk about Vantage.
Cool.
Is it Xiomara or Giomara?
I have not spoken Spanish in a long time. I don't remember how to say.
Well,
It's Oaxaca.
Ekes.
That's an X.
Ekes.
Is it Xiomara?
Xiomara? Chat, help me out here.
Help.
But we'll go Xiomara Mara Contreras was born on the wild ice planet Pagos. Her mother... Is it Xenia?
Xiomara Xenia?
Xenia, was the only other person alive on Pagos, and she raised her daughter as a survivalist, keeping two mantras. The only truth is that everything wants to kill me, and the only rule is to survive. Mara proved gifted with a sniper rifle from the moment she was big enough to look through the scope and reach the trigger at the same time. I know Xeno Warrior. It's not helping.
Yeah.
One day while on a hunt, Xiomara shot a bat and followed her prey into the wreckage of the GDS Vantage. Inside the ship, she found Bat's child, which she Bat's child, which she named Echo. After accidental activation of the ship's console, Mara learned that Vantage was a prison ship that had transported Xenia before crashing on Pagos. Disturbed by the intrusion, the ship collapsed into a crevice, trapping a wounded Mara. To save her daughter's life, Xenia activated the ship's SOS beacon, but was imprisoned once more upon return.
In return.
Oh, in return, I thought. Okay. Okay, I get it now. Once recovered, Xiomara visited her mother in jail. Xenia wished Mara to go home and forget her, but Xiomara was determined to find a way to get her mother out. Unable to fit into society, Mara joined the Apex games, in which she saw something familiar: survival. As a new legend, Vantage, she tried telling everyone that they needed to get Xenia free, but only demonstrated a complete lack of social skills. Mirage, who also had lonely years, decided to teach Mara how to make friends and become popular with the media. Okay.
My dad says, "Hey, all, love ya."
Aww. In terms of gameplay, Vantage is a recon legend, which allows you to scan survey beacons to reveal current enemy positions on the map. Thanks to her passive ability, Vantage sees armor types of all alive players in the enemy squad and gets a bullet drop indicator when aiming unarmed or with mid to long range scopes. Ooh. This allows you to identify weaker teams and helps hitting targets from far away. With her tactical ability, Vantage can deploy, reposition, and recall Echo, all while performing other actions. Then you can launch yourself towards Echo as long as he's in sight, and double jump upon reaching the bat. This allows you to quickly move around and easily get to higher ground. Vantage's ultimate ability is a custom sniper rifle that temporarily marks opponents on hit. Marked enemies received increased damage, enabling your team to finish them quicker. Also, this third weapon gives you a long range of offense even when you don't have sniper guns. However, deployed Echo and rifle's lasers can be easily spotted from a distance, so you need to avoid using them when you're hiding. I like playing as Vantage because I love her social awkwardness. In this video, I've tried to highlight her abilities as well as her interactions with Mirage and other legends. This is just a small taste. The game has much more than I could possibly show in just 3 minutes. All right.
I think, this video may decide it for me, what legend I'm gonna get once I get enough of the currency.
Hi! Am I supposed to say more stuff? I'm the Jump Master. You know, it should be Fall Master. Falling's most of it. Let's land here! I swallowed a bug. Good protein. Let's find a good perch. Launching to a new angle.
Cool.
Need a new angle on this. your maps. The machine told me where to find enemies. I smelled them first, though. We're downwind. Someone gave that prey level 2 shields. Whole pack is alive. For now. Lucky prey here found level 5 shields. They're alone. Damage. Down to mark. Prey's tag. Take him down. Tag that prey.
Down an enemy.
Downed another squad. We're good. Or they're bad. Or both.
Spectacular kill.
Sentinel here. It's like my gun, but civilized. So, prettier and colder. Extended sniper mag here. Level 3. Essential gear, team people.
I'm not thanking you.
Uh-huh. Crafting. Feels good to make stuff. Yeah, okay. Helmet here. Level 2. Stupid things getting in the way of my headshots. Down. That's on me.
Mara, listen. You gotta sell the drama to the camera. The camera's your friend. The camera loves you. Go here.
Is this a lesson in what not to do, Mirage? I get it.
Mara, listen to me. Death boxes don't get post-game interviews about their mom, okay?
I didn't want to be dead. And now I'm not. Thanks.
Hey, come on, get in. It's time to take this spin for a ride. A ride for the wheels up and... Yeah.
Having someone drive me to kill people? I'm getting soft.
This trident will allow us to move quickly.
I'll get in the trident. You pray I don't vomit. Medkit here. Wish I'd had this on Pagos. Enemy trap spotted. Traps shouldn't be spotted if you want them to catch prey. Me and Echo versus the last squad?
Eliminated.
Good odds. I killed the kill leader. A few more and I can be killing kill leader's leader.
You are the Apex champions.
I like to
Alright.
I like to hide and snipe, so I feel like
Alright.
I am sold. Yes, Screaming Argonaut, I'm sold.
Alright. I believe this is actually our last submission for the showcase. Okay. From Nick Gothic.
Hello Damiani, hello Gabby. This would be episode 5 of my demo scene series.
Yeah.
This is the graphic and sound demo by Eckerd Cruz. Made for the Atari ST. And he had to go through way too many hurdles to make it. It's funny because at first all he wanted to do was to have a music editor, but there were none at the time, so he had to make one. Wow. Most programs in the early home computer era would be made through assembly code, which can enact intensely deep machine routines. But since the Atari ST... What does ST stand for?
That I actually don't know.
Huh.
Bloodworth might know.
Yeah, probably. But since the Atari ST was then a recent computer, there was no coding software for the Atari ST other than for BASIC. Programming through BASIC instead of assembly was like making a level through Mario Maker and claiming you have coded a 2D platformer. It was a simplified and padded way to create software that would operate within safe limitations of the OS. But that did not deter Eckerd, so he made his own assembler by using BASIC code. Once he made the assembler, he could use that to create the music editor he wanted. Lastly, because he was proud of his achievements, he wanted to show what his music editor was capable of. And that's when he came to the idea of making a demo of 3 characters playing music together. This demo caused a sensation and had been covered by a local magazine that included copies of his demo on floppy disks. In this video, I present this story.
Alright. ST officially stands for 1632, referring to Motorola's 68,000 16-bit external bus and 32-bit internals. Thank you. I would never have guessed that.
Released in June 1985, just a month before the Amiga, the Atari ST was its biggest rival, and it would also undercut it. It was cheaper by more than a third of Amiga's price range, and would also offer twice the amount of starting RAM. It had some shortcomings because of its price cut. The Amiga could display twice the number of colors in a palette that was 8 times greater, and also compared to the 4-channel stereo sampled sound that the Amiga could make, it could just make 3-channel mono chiptune. But as the low-price champion that the ST was, these were all sacrifices worth having. And the ST had another weapon in its sleeve, MIDI compatibility with synthesizers and sequencers. Essentially, you could use the ST to record your musical sequences, edit them in some of history's earliest stores, and then play them back through the same synth sequencer, and this was magical. This is why the ST earned common use in professional music circles, and was used by everyone from Tangerine Dream, Mike Oldfield, Fatboy Slim, Jean-Michel Jarre, Depeche Mode, Pet Shop Boys, Darude Sandstorm. Noting these possibilities was one Eckhard Kreuzer, who as a teen got an ST and wanted to practice his programming skills, at a time when there was still barely any software for the ST. There weren't even any programs for programming yet. So he made his own. He made his own assembler through BASIC. This is like making an industrial hammer out of primitive flint tools. And then he used his new assembler to make a music editor, and then used that music editor to create the graphic on sound demo in November of 1986. It might seem dumb and simple, but this was really amazing. It demonstrated all the sound and animation capabilities of the Atari ST, all while these Sesame Street-like characters played a jam session together. Na, Snurp, zeig, was du kannst. Hau rein, Soll. Zeig's Innenschnatter. Alles klar? 1, 2, 3, 4. Eckhard was a truly fascinating guy, and the YouTuber called Atari Legend goes into more detail about his life. You could also write to him since he left his address in the demo itself, although something tells me this might be outdated. The graphic and sound demo was amazing because it was one of the early examples of users, not industry heads, coding their own tech demos for no other purpose other than it just looks beautiful. And you have no idea what kind of domino chain that would turn into. Love and respect.
That was awesome. Wait, how did you get that footage? And then how did you edit it? I'm very curious.
They are very deep into the demo scene.
Yeah.
So they have been, Nick has been providing a lot of these types of videos in the past, so.
But I'm wondering, like, where's the video, like, do you edit it so it looks like a
That, I mean,
Tell me about it in the Community
yeah.
Showcase channel.
Gabby wants to know what you're using to edit and capture. Please. Give her all the tips.
Yeah. Give me
but yes, that is going to do it for this month's Community Showcase. And I just had blood here for a second, and I forgot to ask who's next.
Oh. It's whoever's first.
Whoever's first is next. RF Switch might know. RF Switch keeps tabs sometimes. Bloodworth is next. All right, there you go. I capture footage on emulators and edit on Premiere, sometimes After Effects. That's Nick Gothic. Tom Boston.
So do you edit it to look like a TV? Anyway,
like
we'll see it in a second. We'll see it in a second.
That's all right. But yeah, again, $10 and up patrons, part of our contributor tier. You can send in, yay, that's pretty cool.
Sick. That's what I did for the Be Right Back thing too. Put the scalens in.
Look out for the post calling for October submissions. Hey, it's gonna be October. Spooky October.
Spooky submissions for spooky Bloodworth.
Ooh. All right, that will be coming up. So look out for that. We will be back in a little bit with group stream.
Just under 2 hours.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm good at math. Yeah, Turtles, Shredder's Revenge DLC. We're doing more of the co-op.
And I think we got some stuff to unbox as well.
Possibly. We'll see.
I
I think too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but we'll double check. So stay tuned. And
Yeah.
Until next time, everyone.
Thanks, community. Thanks,
Yeah.
contributors.